Hi and welcome to TaxiPoint. Today we'll be talking about that hot topic, electric taxis. You haven't got to look far to see that not just our industry, but other industries are making that move to electric probably far quicker than they could ever imagine. So, I'll be travelling down to London today to learn a little bit more about a new way to help taxi drivers make that move to electric. I'll be speaking to Dan Saunders from Octopus to learn more about their pay-as-you-drive scheme. I'll also be talking to two of their drivers, one from London and one from Coventry, who have taken on the pay-as-you-drive package from Octopus to see how they're getting on with it. So let's see how it goes. So Dan, tell us a little bit more about Octopus and your values as a company.
Yeah, so Octopus, we're a group of entrepreneurially minded businesses. We are very much focused on delivering innovative solutions and terrific customer experience. We founded back in 2000, really focused on two main markets, which are financial services and clean energy supply. And we now have over 600,000 customers and about £8 billion worth of assets under management, both here in the UK, but also in Europe and in Australia.
So tell us why you've chosen to enter the taxi industry.
Yeah, so we have an ethos of entering markets and challenging convention. And we also want to be part of sustainable solutions. Environmentalism is really important to us. So if we're going to be part of markets and we want to help shift in clean energy, but also improving air quality, we're looking at transport. And clearly the taxi trade is an industry affected by the shift to clean renewable energy and clean vehicles. And it's doing the right thing, but it needs support, and we think we can help benefit the market by bringing in new ways of financing vehicles and helping this shift to clean transportation.
So why should drivers consider your finance options over more conventional options?
Yeah, I think the way we're approaching this is pretty different from traditional financing. We're seeing this as effectively a small business loan to a driver. It just so happens that it's being used to buy these vehicles. And by approaching it in that way, we can do it in a much more flexible manner. So pay as you drive means that the drivers that we fund only repay the vehicles, or part payment for the vehicles actually as they actually benefit from them. So it's much more like having a meter running, and at the end of each month they know exactly how much they're paying for how much they've benefited from the vehicles. But by doing it that way, we have other benefits whereby the driver can own the vehicle outright from the start. They can share the vehicle with other drivers if they wish to. They can use the vehicle and also wrap the vehicle in advertising if they wish to. It's their vehicle. And by approaching this differently, it's also meant that we've received Sharia compliance from the Islamic Council of Europe. And we understand that for many drivers entering the market, that's another form of finance that they haven't been able to access before. So all we're really trying to do is be innovative and come up with solutions that really help drivers continue in this trade and ultimately succeed from using the vehicles.
So Dan, what vehicles do you offer finance on, and is finance available across the UK, or is it just London based at the moment?
So we're financing vehicles that are clean, basically. We want to finance zero emission cabs. So at the moment the LEV-TX is clearly that cab. As more manufacturers come to the market, we will review the vehicles and we'll look to see if we can support those as well. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is support the driver in them being able to switch to the clean vehicle of their choice. In terms of geography, yes, we fund across the UK. We're not looking for geographic restrictions. We're just trying to see where the demand is from drivers to help the switch to go green.
So what do you think about the new LEVC TXE taxi, and do you work closely with them?
So, to be honest, we're really guided by drivers and what their impressions are. And the feedback we've received from drivers that have either test driven or own them has been really, really positive. So that's what gives us confidence. In terms of our dealings with LEVC, they've been very supportive of what we're doing. We're in no way related, but I guess we are providing another option for drivers to own their vehicles, which hopefully for everybody is a good thing.
So Dan, how exactly does the finance work?
Yeah, it's really simple. It's essentially a loan for the driver to buy the vehicle, but rather than charging an interest rate, what we do is have a fixed cost per mile for each mile driven. So the driver gets to input their average annual mileage and how long they hope to pay the loan over, and then from that we generate a tailored cost per mile quote for a set number of miles. And then at the end of every month, the driver is just billed based on the actual miles driven, and they receive an invoice against that. The more miles they drive and the faster they drive those miles, the sooner the loans were paid. So there's complete alignment of interest with the driver and how we receive our repayment.
And finally, are there any other services you offer that could be of interest to cabbies in the future?
Yeah, so we're really trying to build around a suite of services to support drivers, and that starts off initially whereby if using our funding, if a driver wants a home charger, if they're prepared to switch to our energy supplier, which is Octopus Energy, we will provide them with a free home charger as part of the funding, and that is the first step in trying to help drivers transition. We have a tariff for drivers of electric vehicles, which is our Go tariff, which is 5 pence per kilowatt hour to charge the vehicle overnight between the hours of 12:30 and 4:30 in the morning. So that obviously helps cut down costs. And then we're looking to build in other services such as payment card readers and meters, and hopefully insurance as well. So our goal at the end is to have a suite of services whereby the driver can just take the cab, pick up the keys, go and earn, and they know that everything they need is just bundled into a pay-as-you-drive service that fits their lifestyle.
That's great. Thanks for your time, Dan.
Thank you.
So there we have it. We've heard from Dan from Octopus. Now let's catch up with a couple of drivers that have taken out the Octopus finance package and see how they're getting on with their new taxi. So I'm joined by both Chris and Mohammed, who are both taxi drivers, and they are driving the new LEVC TXE taxi and also use Octopus. So first off, how are you finding the new taxi?
I'm really loving the cab actually. It's really very nice. I think it's quiet. It's the customers love it. It's the first cab I've noticed they're actually stopping, turning around, looking back at it. It's more spacious in the back. You can get push chairs, wheelchairs in quite easily, and facing forward. It drives beautifully. It's a very good looking cab as well.
What about yourself, Chris?
Yeah, can't complain. 150 miles I roughly do a day, live out in Kent. Fuel savings they are big. Little downsides, maybe the highlight needs looking at. I get hailed out in Kent, which is not good. But other than that, you can't fault it. It's comfortable to drive, smooth, quiet, customers love it. Yeah, brilliant.
So how did you hear about Octopus and why did you choose them over other options available?
You look at all the options that are available. There's not many out there that give us the flexibility to pay when you go to work. Now I do some other things, so if I'm laying the cab up for a day, I'm not paying the rent, I'm not paying the finance, it's parked up, and we all get health problems as well. So worst comes to worst, you've got to lay up for a month, you're not paying for the cab, are you? Helps you with other stuff, I guess, the mortgage and things like that.
Definitely. What about yourself, Mohammed?
I heard about Octopus from came in a discussion because when I was looking at the options that there were available to buy the new one, and one of my main key points was I didn't want to go interest based on this next one, and so I was looking to see what other options were available, and one of the persons that used to work at LEVC in Coventry, who I've known for quite some time, her name's Ravika, she mentioned Octopus were doing a new scheme, so that's how I got to it.
So would you recommend other cabbies to look at Octopus as an option to finance their move to electric?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, there's so many pros and cons to it. Why wouldn't you? At the end of the day, there's no balloon payment at the end. You buy it outright, and you only pay when you work. You only earn in when the wheels are turning.
Yeah, I would recommend it to anybody I know. I mean, I've looked at all the other options, and if you total what you pay at the end of it, it's no less than what you'll be paying to Octopus. And with Octopus, you've got that flexibility of not taking your time off, holidays, and where you don't need to work as much in 1 month if the work's quiet. And as Chris said, you pay for what you drive.
Well, I'll just add to that. I mean, I was renting before. A lot of the garages, they're quite shrewd with how many weeks rent holiday they give you. With this, I'm not saying it's unlimited because you still got to do the miles to pay the thing, but yeah.
Yeah, but you've got that flexibility.
Yeah, that's right. If I want to
don't have to meet it
on
every
holiday
month.
for 2 weeks, I'm not paying for the cab. What's wrong with that? I don't know.
No, it's a great way of actually going about it. I really, I'm all for it, definitely.
So what cabbies, in your opinion, will this option most appeal to?
I don't think it's good for the airport workers. Dead mileage out of Oxford and then back to Heathrow. But I don't know, I'm 20 miles into the Elephant and Castle. Work the streets, it's fine, no problems.
But other than that, pretty much.
Yeah, other than that, you're paying for what you when you use it. Quite simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this would probably most appeal to all Muslim drivers, with it being approved by the European Islamic Council of Europe. This way, there's no interest on the investment and the finance package. It's all according and approved to the Islamic Sharia, so it suits anybody who wants to go via that option as well. To all anyone who works in the city, really, that doesn't have as much long distance driving to do, to travel to work. But mainly, really, to all Muslim drivers, because it's the best option for them. They won't be going against their religion with this option.
And there we have it. Thank you to Octopus and to Chris and Mohammed for giving us their views and explaining more about a new way for drivers to make that move to electric. To keep up to date with TaxiPoint, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and you can obviously follow us on YouTube. You can also subscribe to our service and receive all the latest from the industry. Be lucky.